Hello everyone, welcome to From the Star Wars Home Video Library. I'm your host, Nathan P. Butler, author of A Saga on Home Video, and this should be a very quick episode, I hope. This is episode number 21.7. Yes, 7 freaking supplemental episodes on one particular topic. What we're going to look at this time is yet another version of the making of Star Wars and SPFX The Empire Strikes Back on VHS, one that has a very different type of cover than what we are used to seeing, and I'm going to note something about some early variants that I haven't really considered variants in the past, but a recent conversation with some folks has suggested to me that perhaps it does make sense to lay out a little bit more information about those variants that aren't exactly variants. So, number 1, we have seen that we had the VHS double feature release of The Making of Star Wars as told by C-3PO and R2-D2 and SPFX The Empire Strikes Back, and how this was from 20th Century Fox Video before the whole CBSFox thing. And that basically what you got is a drawer case. But that sometimes you will still see these with those CBSFox labels because of when the transition was happening in terms of the name of the company and all that going into 1983 and the way that their inventory was being moved for this stuff. So this was the one we saw before. I noted a while back that there was a later release of that same thing closer to the time when we got that Star Wars Trilogy 3-pack. That is this. Finally, a new arrival to show you here. This one is actually a former library copy, so not really pristine, but these are pretty hard to come by at this point. This is the CBSFox 1987 reissue of basically the same thing. And yes, it is the same tape. Again, still using that same old label, that same old reissue. You know, sometimes they'll have the 20th Century Fox Video label, sometimes it'll say CBSFox. It tends to be just kind of random because they were just pulling from old stock. In this case, you can see someone's written in marker up there at the top to note the number for library purposes and whatnot, and nothing there on the spine other than just the regular product item information there as usual. But a standard VHS tape, and in this time, a standard VHS case. So they got rid of the drawer cases in 87, and we got this. CBSFox in the corner, regular thing like we would see for our cover art here, with our information down at the bottom, again, like we've seen before. Similar side to those circa 1987 releases of the trilogy, so CBSFox Video at the top, then the names, then VHS, a lot of blank space underneath. The other side, very, very similar, just with the VHS a little bit lower in the bar, and of course, again, library stuff written there. The back also very similar to what we saw before, as with the top. So really just kind of taking the drawer case and sort of paring it down into a slim case that we can then stick the VHS into, whether the VHS is a reissue with one label or the other, all to try to move that old back stock of this double feature, which we've seen many, many times. So that's the new item. But what are the variants I was talking about? Well, you may recall that when we did look at this, right, the VHS drawer case, we also eventually saw that Betamax drawer case. And one of the differences is the cut down here. So this is 1982. Notice that it's got a corner cut here, right, where you see more than just the spine has the cut. There's a little bit cut from the front. You can find both VHS and Betamax with a corner cut in 82 and in 83 for this same thing. And on the corner cut ones, notice they're kind of on the bottom left for you there. That's the layout of the way the copyright information is filled in. There was also the hole cut version. You notice it does not go around the corner. It is just on the spine. You could get it on VHS and Betamax in 82 and 83 with the single hole instead of a corner cut as well. And in that case, you can look down here on the corner cut ones or on the single hole ones. You check it out down here. Slightly different layout for your copyright. The copyright is now in bold underneath that line. And the biggest difference being that basically the back is the same, except if you look at the line of copyright, the copyright date will say 83 instead of 82. For me, that's not enough of a variant to hunt down, and I'm not sure it should really count as a variant. It's basically just a production difference as opposed to being a purposeful variant type of release. But for those who really want to be anal retentive, even more so than I am, which is tough to do, Yes, you could go and hunt down 8 of these to be able to have them all. For me, this is enough. 1 VHS and 1 Betamax. And hey, one's a corner cut and one's a single cut, although they're both from 82. But if you want to go out and get them all, again, there are corner cuts and regular holes, right? So corner cut and spine hole versions from 82 and 83 for VHS and Betamax, which means you're looking for 8 different minor variants if you're trying to get them all. And then you got to hunt down the one from 87 and all the other formats that we've looked at before. So, just wanted to get that out there for you. Yes, I finally added the CBSFox one from 87 into my Star Wars home video library. And again, I would love to say this will be the last time we see this double feature, but for all I know, I may run across one of the other ones at some point. But hopefully, that pretty much wraps it up. I mean, what happens if we get to the point where we're at episode 21.9 and then we have another one? Ugh, I perish the thought. So, with that, we'll wrap up this episode. Thank you for watching, and may the Force be with the home video viewers.